Hey guys, how's it going? Nate Dickens here. We're doing a quick installation video of the Action Army hop-up chamber dampening type. So let's check it out. This is the parts breakdown. Easy enough. Now you won't need 7, 6, or 5. Those are already pre-installed. But everything else you'll have to do by yourself. Oh, let me correct that. 4, 2, 5, 6, and 7 are all pre-installed. You will have to install all the others though. What comes in the package? Well, let me show you. First, you got these two little Allen screws that are used for tightening the barrel shroud onto the barrel. Next, you have brass O-rings, shims, a plastic shim, which you will have a little special installation process for that one, a screw, an O-ring, a standard Action Army hop-up nub. It is circular, the spring that tensions the whole system, the barrel shroud that connects the barrel to the hop-up, the hop-up arm, which is one piece. I already like that better than the original VSR-10 hop, even though I am a big advocate for it. The original VSR-10 hop with the right hop arm and nub. And then you get the Action Army hop-up chamber itself. So now we're going to do an installation of it. Okay, first, there we go, let it adjust. You take your barrel shroud and you install it this way, and it should just slide right on. Next, take your hop-up rubber. We are using a maple leaf diamond hop-up bucking today. Just should create like almost like a flat curve with the Action Army hop nub. So yeah, so just install that. If you ever installed these on Tokyo Marui, it's got a little ramp down here, and you line up on there. Make sure not to rip the nub. It can happen. Oh, yeah, before I say anything, you do need a barrel that is shaved down and does not have the the barrel bridge. This is a stock Marui barrel. It is 6.08 diameter millimeter, and I shaved down the little bridge on it so I can install hop-up nubs that use barrels like that. So yeah, so let's just install it. Sorry about that, guys. Quick mistake made. You actually put the barrel shroud on like this, with those circles for the screw cutouts facing the front of the barrel. Then you put on your bucking. Now you take your hop-up chamber and the bucking with that little fin right there, and you put it into the hop chamber. Just kind of wiggle it in there, and it should lock it into place. And then you take this and you make sure it lines up with these screws here and there. This is when now we use these screws. Simply make sure they line up. And very delicate, you don't want to over tighten these, but you do want to make sure they're snug. And the reason is because if you over tighten them, they are steel. Most airsoft barrels, high-end barrels, are either brass or aluminum. Not so much aluminum, but mostly brass. So you want to go till it's nice and tight, but not too tight. If you over tighten these screws, it'll actually warp your barrel and it might affect the accuracy or get BBs jammed because it'll put a hole straight through your aluminum barrel, especially a stock one like a VSR-10 that comes aluminum. So yeah, just watch out for that. You can see it's getting tight, and then once it's tight, just a little bit, and you're good. This is when the process starts getting a little tricky. Now you take that little spring and you put it right there. There's a little cutout for it. Now you take the hop-up nub, that little circular piece of rubber, and you put it on that little area that you can obviously tell is for it, and make sure it's centered on there because it will affect your left to right curve. So make sure it's centered. It's not a little too to the left, a little too to the right. At this process, now you want to push the gate up and put down pressure on it. Just like that. If you let go, this bar will fly up and your nub and your spring will go flying. So don't do that. We're going to put it into the outer barrel now, which actually has a special way of doing it. While you have that pressure down on that arm, you want to insert the barrel and make sure this is pointed towards you, this opening. But you want this upwards like this. So when that is in this opening, you'll be able to get to it. Then you want to push that in. And as you push in, make sure you keep that pressure down on it. And once it's in there, it will actually keep the pressure down on it. So push the barrel forward. And here we are. So now we're at this stage in the installation process. You can see the hop arm is right there. This is one of those screws that held the barrel in. And now you're going to install the only one plastic washer. So this washer is special, guys. I don't know if you can see that, but do you see how it cones upwards? Let me see if I can get a better angle. Do you see how it's not completely flat like an O-ring? It actually almost cones. So I learned the best way to do it is to have that cone with the least amount of tension. You want to have that facing downwards, like that. Next, you're going to take one of the brass shims, and you're going to put that on top of the plastic shim. Now we're going to install the hop arm. Simply put it in, tuck it forward like that, and it should start to wiggle in. Push down a little bit, not too hard, and it should lock into place. Now you want to take the rubber O-ring and put it on the hole. Like so. Now take the other brass shim and you put that on top of the O-ring. Let me make sure that's correct. Yep, you put that on top of the O-ring. Then you put this little screw through both of them and into the hole. Let me do this off camera, guys. It'd be a little easier. Now, you don't want to go too tight when you tighten this down, because if you go too tight, that O-ring might snap. So you just want to go till you feel tension and stop. Once you are here, you're about almost over. Now it's kind of the fun part. You take your thumb and you simply slide it up like that. These are the two screws that are going to hold down your hop-up block. So you line those up. Put on your hop-up block with your two screws and tighten them down. You want to make sure on a VSR-10 you don't tighten down things too fast and you don't tighten down things too tight, because the VSR, these little screws, they will strip, and you just stripped a $60 part. That hop-up chamber, that's a $60 part, and you just stripped it with these screws because you were tightening it too tight and you over-torqued, and next thing you know, you frickin' strip it. So don't over-tight anything on the VSR. Be very gentle. Thread lock is your friend. Use the medium strength so you can undo it. From here, guys, it's fairly simple. You should know by now if you're working on a VSR. You put it back in the barrel. You tighten this down. Make sure to put back your little set screw. And again, don't over torque it. This screw's very easy to strip. Just go till you feel any resistance, and you're good, man. That's all you need. Put your gun upper receiver back into the lower receiver stock. Put your Allen keys, the short one in the front, the big one in the back, if I can get it. If you installed it correctly, you will see the little hop arm right there, and you should be able to adjust it, and it should slide without too much resistance. It's hard to do with one hand. Should slide with not too much resistance, but there should be a little resistance so it doesn't accidentally adjust in game. So this gun is shooting at 0.6 joules with a stock Tokyo Marui spring. That's a little weak, but that's also with the hop up completely off, so there might not be any seal. We're gonna throw 3 2s in this, and this is with 2 O's. And so the 3 2s will probably drop to about 180 FPS, and we're gonna see if we can get some range with this. This is the ultimate test in my opinion. So let's check it out. So this is at about 50 meters. We're going to see the trajectory. That was me aiming low and then get back to the yellow line. This is how hard we were shooting with 3 2-gram BBs. We were shooting 220 FPS, and we were getting 50 meters easily. And let me show you, the hop up was barely turned on. We could have lifted, heck, 3 6s, 4 3s, maybe 4 6s with only a 260 FPS spring with 0.2 O's. All in all, the Action Army dampening type VSR-10 hop-up chamber, I have to say, guys, it's a good buy. The fact that it could lift 3 2-gram BBs with only 220 FPS is crazy. The fact that it still could lift more BBs at that FPS is astounding and better than the regular VSR-10 hop-up chamber, which I got one right here. And what this hop-up chamber does is, the problem is, this is an Airsoft Pro hop arm. Really like these. But it can only go so far. Look, it's like level with that when it could go further, and that's why people do the top dead center mod. But this is also a good, I still like the original VSR-10 hop-up chamber. With the right nub and the right hop-up arm, it can do wonders as well. But for right now, I think I'm going to be running this. And I think you guys should too. It's great to have that adjustable dial on the side so you can do it in the field and not take out a stupid Allen wrench. Have a good one, guys, and see you next time. Nate Dickens 75, signing off.